Cheers. Now, this is about to get uncomfortable in the best possible way. What if your life isn't falling apart? What if your soul is finally refusing to live on an expired timeline and everything that can't come with you is just going to fall off? If you've been feeling detached from your old life, losing people, glitching between identities, watching your desires change faster than you can explain them, and a part of you is quietly asking, am I going crazy? You're not, bro. You're in a timeline shift, a personal dark night of the soul inside of a collective one. But before we go any deeper, anchor this moment. Please just drop I choose my timeline in the comments so your future self can't pretend that we didn't have this conversation. Reality is listening to you in ways that me and you, we were never taught, bro. We were raised to think that reality is solid, linear, and mostly outside of your control. But both mystics and quantum physicists point to something that is very different. Beneath the surface, everything is vibration, probability, and relationship. Quantum physics says what looks like matter is actually fields of probability that collapse into a specific outcome when you observe them. Spirituality says what looks like your life is actually a mirror of your consciousness collapsing into the experiences that match your dominant state. Same idea, just a different language. And you're not a passenger in this, bro. You are the observer, the broadcaster, the tuner. Every belief you repeat is a frequency. Every emotion that you rehearse over and over again is a frequency. Every story that you tell yourself about yourself is a frequency. And that timeline that you live on is just a reality that resonates with those frequencies most consistently. So when people say, I want a new timeline, but keep thinking and feeling and acting like their old self, they're asking for one station while refusing to change the channel. Now, the real shift doesn't start when your outside life changes. It starts when your inner allegiance changes. You stop being loyal to the identity built on trauma. You stop being loyal to relationships built on self-betrayal. The dreams that were never yours, just inherited expectations. And you start being loyal to what feels clean, not comfortable. What feels true, not socially approved. What feels alive, not just familiar. And in that moment, your soul quietly updates its coordinates. Your life has to lag for a while because physical reality is slower than your inner pivot. That lag is where most people start to panic, bro. They say nothing's happening. Why does it feel worse? Why am I losing everything? Because the old timeline is losing you, dude. So let's break down the spiritual meat of what really happens under these symptoms. Your nervous system is detoxing old timelines. Your body has recorded every version of you. The people pleaser, the overachiever, the addict, the invisible one, the tough guy. Those versions were coping mechanisms, beautiful, intelligent survival strategies, but they were never the whole truth of you. So when you stop feeding them, your nervous system freaks out. It thinks you're in danger because unfamiliar usually equals unsafe. So you may feel like more anxiety when you set a boundary, more grief when you stop caretaking people who drain you, more emptiness when you no longer numb out with old habits. That's not regression, dude. That's withdrawal from your own identity. Now, number 2, your shadow comes up for integration, not judgment. The online world loves aesthetic spirituality, sage, crystals, pretty affirmations. But the real work is ugly, dude. Rage, jealousy, shame, abandonment wounds, control patterns. Shadow work is not about demonizing those parts. It's about realizing that my anger was trying to protect my boundaries. My jealousy shows me where I don't believe I can have that. My control issues were how I tried to feel safe in a chaotic world. When you sit with those parts, instead of outrunning them, something wild starts to happen, bro. The part of you that would have chosen the lower timeline out of fear stops needing to. Your integrated shadow equals fewer unconscious votes for the reality that you're trying to leave. Now, number 3, your soul starts upgrading your contracts. You came into certain families, friendships, communities, and roles to learn specific lessons. When those lessons are integrated, the contract changes. That can look like relationships dissolving without a dramatic villain, opportunities falling through that would have caged your growth, doors closing on timelines that you would have settled for before. This is where spiritual maturity actually matters, bro. From the ego, everything is being taken from me. From the soul, everything that can't meet who I'm becoming is being gently removed. Cheers. So let's go even deeper on the blocks. Block 1, romanticizing your rock bottom. You tell the story of your own pain more often than the story of your possibility. Your over-identity with the one who always gets hurt, the black sheep, the one no one understands. I'm here to tell you, bro, your pain is real. Your story is valid. But if you turn it into your identity, your system will keep recreating experiences that match it because it thinks that's who you are. Your soul is asking you to honor what happened without making it the ceiling of what's possible. Now, block 2, using spirituality to avoid real change. That one better hit deep because I know that I've experienced this a lot and I'm sure that you have as well. You can pull cards, watch videos, read signs, bin content on higher timelines. But when it's time to have the uncomfortable conversation or leave the misaligned job or say no to the situations that drain, you fold, bro. It's okay, though. That's not judgment. That's clarity. Spirituality without behavioral change is just entertainment, dude. A timeline shift is anchored when your calendar, your relationships, and your habits all start to look different. Treat your intuition like a suggestion, not guidance, is what's holding you back. You know when it's time to leave. You know when the room is wrong. You know when a person isn't safe for your spirit. But then the mind negotiates. It says, maybe I'm overreacting. It's not that bad. What if I'm being dramatic? Every time you override your intuition to keep the peace, you choose the old timeline again. Intuition is not always comfortable, but it is always accurate about what your energy can and cannot hold anymore. If this is hitting deep down into your core, take a breath with me. And then you can drop "I trust my knowing" in the comments so you don't gaslight yourself later. Now, how do you actually stabilize a higher timeline? Practical and a little bit mystical. Let's talk about what does help in a way that honors both spirituality and quantum logic. You just got to align your inner story with the future, not the past. Every day, your mind is running a lower timeline script that says, I always mess it up. People like me never get that. If I ask for more, I'll lose everything. The higher timeline script is, I'm allowed to outgrow who I used to be. It's safe for my life to get better than what my family believed was possible. Less can be an upgrade in disguise. You don't have to believe the new script perfectly at first. You just have to repeat it often enough that your nervous system starts to recognize it as an option. Thoughts are like grooves. The more you use a new one, the deeper it gets, and the easier reality can flow through it. You also just need to figure out how to regulate your nervous system like it's sacred technology. Breath work, grounding, shaking, humming, cold water, barefoot on the earth. Dude, they're not just wellness trends, bro. They're literally telling your body it is safe to not go back. Because if your body is in a consistent state of alarm, it will drag you back into the old timeline where it knows the rules, even if the rules hurt you. A regulated nervous system is like a stable quantum field. Less noise, more coherent, stronger signal. And the last one, take aligned micro actions every day. Micro, small actions. Don't obsess over the one giant quantum leap, bro. You're going to overwhelm yourself. Think consistent quantum nudges. Send the email that moves you toward the life that you want. Spend 30 minutes building the thing that only you can build. Say no once where normally you would have just said yes from guilt. The universe doesn't need you to respond to mood boards. It just needs to respond to your movement. Your feet on the ground are part of the prayer. Now, why am I doing this? I'm not here to sell you a perfect timeline where nothing hurts and every manifestation lands in 24 hours. I'm here because we're in the middle of a collective awakening and breakdown, and most people have only been given two choices: numb out and pretend that none of this is happening, or spiral in fear and call it being informed. Team Human, for me, is the third option. It means you stay feeling even when it's easier to shut down. You stay honest even when it costs you old identities. You stay awake even when the world is begging you to go back to sleep. It means that you recognize that your healing is not selfish. Every time you choose a cleaner timeline, less abuse, less self-betrayal, less pretending, you make that timeline more available in the collective field for someone who doesn't even have the language or the courage. I'm doing this because I believe one human being fully alive in their soul is more powerful than 1,000 people living on autopilot. And if you feel that, even just a little bit, bro, if something in you knows that you're here to live awake, not asleep, you can just hit the follow button and stay close. That's how you join what I call Team Human. Not by being perfect or all the above, but by refusing to abandon your own soul while the world rearranges itself around you. Where you are right now in this process, the breakup with your old life, the void in between, the first quiet signs of your new timeline, you're right where you're supposed to. Divine timing is a real thing. And if you're still here, please just comment divine timing so I know that you paid attention this whole video. I love you.